Do we know what kind of frame of mind Andrew and Fergie are in at the moment?
Well, I do know that Fergie, people are actually worried about her. She's in such a bad frame of mind.
Once seen as the life of the royal party, Sarah Ferguson is now said to be spending her nights alone, hiding out in a secret bar behind Royal Lodge called the Doghouse. The former Duchess of York is reportedly drinking, crying, hysterical and confiding in staff as she faces eviction from her Windsor home, and her growing paranoia that dark forces could target her family. Meanwhile, her ex-husband, Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor, stripped of his titles and dignity, is reportedly pacing through the 30-room mansion ranting to himself as the walls of his royal life come crashing down. Together yet apart, they're counting down their final days at Royal Lodge. And what's emerging is a portrait of chaos, fear, and unravelling lives.
Is really at a low ebb. As you say, she goes drinking at the Doghouse, her pub. I know the girls are kind of, they want to freeze their parents out. They're cross with their parents, they're angry with their parents, but equally they have stayed in touch because they're genuinely so worried about where their mental health is at.
Let's go inside the final troubled weeks of Andrew and Fergie's life together and the shocking fears consuming the woman once called the Duchess of York. Royal Lodge in Windsor Great Park has long symbolised privilege, privacy and royal history. Once home to the late Queen Mother, it became Andrew and Sarah's shared residence after their divorce in the 1990s. Despite their separation, they lived together for over 2 decades, calling it their family home. But those days are numbered. King Charles has ordered them both to vacate the estate by the new year. Andrew will reportedly be moved to a smaller property on the Sandringham estate, while Sarah has been told to make her own arrangements. The pair now spend most of their days apart, living at opposite ends of the 30-room house. They only meet for dinner, where sources say conversations turn emotional, tense, and often paranoid. Fergie, insiders claim, is panicking about what's next and terrified about her daughter's reputations being dragged into the mud. Behind Royal Lodge lies a private, purpose-built bar known among staff as the Doghouse. It's here, according to insiders, that Sarah Ferguson retreats nightly to pour her heart out over glasses of wine, leaning on the few staff members who have remained loyal to her. She's hiding away, said one source. She talks for hours, sometimes in tears, about how everything's falling apart. She's terrified about what will happen when they're forced to move out. It's a far cry from the woman who once graced magazine covers. Now, she reportedly spends her evenings drinking with staff, venting about dark forces, and asking friends to stay late to keep her company. Her paranoia, according to those close to her, has grown intense. She fears being caught in the crosshairs, not just by the media, but by powerful people who might still be watching. While Fergie hides in the Doghouse, Andrew reportedly spends his days muttering to himself, pacing through the corridors of Royal Lodge like a ghost haunting his own downfall. Andrew rarely goes out, a staff member shared. He pads around the house, ranting, replaying everything that's happened. He's angry, he's bitter, and he's embarrassed. Those close to him say the loss of his titles and his reputation has broken him. Once known for arrogance and privilege, he's now a man consumed by fear and humiliation. Even his relationship with his daughters has become strained under the weight of the continuing scandals.
I think also we'll see some fracturing with the relationship with the daughters. I think the daughters are going to try and distance themselves too. And we may even see them renouncing their title.
Despite their insistence that the past is behind them, new claims have thrust Beatrice and Eugenie into the spotlight. Reports surfaced alleging that years ago, Sarah Ferguson took her daughters to visit Epstein shortly after his release from prison. An alleged 2011 email from Epstein to his lawyer claimed that Sarah was the first to celebrate my release and had visited me with her 2 daughters in tow. Sarah has strongly denied this, insisting neither she nor her daughters have any recollection of such a visit. Still, the allegations have left Fergie shaken. The thought that Beatrice and Eugenie could be publicly linked to Epstein, even indirectly, is her greatest fear. She feels responsible for dragging them into a nightmare not of their making. Friends say Sarah's anxiety has spiralled out of control. She's terrified that the couple's secrets could resurface, or that new information might come to light as Andrew faces renewed scrutiny from US Congress members demanding answers about his Epstein ties. Even her sister Jane has flown from Australia to be by her side, reportedly concerned about Sarah's state of mind. One insider described her as massively on edge, saying she's developed a sense of paranoia that everyone is out to get her. Her fears aren't entirely unfounded. Public sympathy has all but evaporated. Most Britons view the pair as disgraced hangers-on, clinging to royal privilege even as the monarchy moves on without them. The only bright spots in their collapsing world are their two daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, and their beloved corgis, Sandy and Muick. The dogs, according to insiders, will be kept within the family, moving between Andrew and Sarah in an unspoken custody arrangement.
You've got the corgis. You've got the beloved corgis.
Yes. Yes. Well, because we both, yes, there they are.
I mean, that's just joy, isn't it?
And they're known as national treasures, so when they go chasing squirrels and trees are in the way and they go...
You've got to be very
Do they have
nervous.
security detail?
Straight to the vet.
Beatrice and Eugenie, meanwhile, are said to be extremely worried about their mother's emotional well-being. Both women have families of their own now, and while they're privately protective of Sarah, they're also weary of being drawn deeper into their parents' never-ending scandals. Royal Lodge was more than just a home. For Fergie, it represented belonging, a place where she could still feel connected to the monarchy even after her divorce. For Andrew, it was his last shred of status. Now, as their eviction looms, they face very different futures.
I don't have sympathy for them. I think that's the wrong word. But imagine what it must be like, kind of trapped in your house, knowing you've got literally nothing.
Andrew will retreat to a smaller property on the Sandringham estate, stripped of power and prestige. Sarah's future is far less certain. She's hinted at wanting another royal residence, but those days are over. There's talk she could relocate to London, or even abroad, but her fear of being without security makes that unlikely. The truth is, neither seems ready to live without the other. Yet staying together, even under one roof, is proving unbearable. This is the final act of a once glittering royal fairy tale turned tragedy. The former Duke and Duchess of York, once the toast of the 1980s, are now pariahs of the modern monarchy. Their every move is watched, their mistakes replayed, their legacy rewritten. Fergie's paranoia and Andrew's isolation speak to two people consumed by fear. They're relics of a royal era that no longer exists, clinging to what little remains of their influence. As they pack their bags and prepare to leave Royal Lodge for the last time, one thing is certain: the curtain has fallen on the House of York as we knew it. But what do you think? Has Sarah Ferguson been unfairly punished for Andrew's sins, or is she finally facing the consequences of her own choices? And do you believe her paranoia about dark forces has any merit? Or is it just the unravelling of a woman who once had it all? Perhaps she is worried her past really will catch up with her. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more updates on the former Duke and Duchess of York's ongoing royal downfall.